So ye juma ye ding, and so ye be ni sa. Na Nyankopon e. Ama mranche nye sika. Ni nsia da pa. Na meto ye nua yi bi o. Adwo be mi wo. Adwo be mi wo be. Adwo be mi wo be. Adwo be mi wo be. Mi wo be.
Ajobe mi wo kofini mo sempremo. Ajobe
mi wo be.
Ajobe
Mi wo be. Mi wo be.
Ajobe mi wo Ajobe
Mi wo be.
Ajobe
Mi wo be.
Ajobe
Mi wo be. Mi wo be.
So ye juma ye den enso be ne sara na mafomo mra branti enye juma pa enye juma pa nye ma brabo yitumpon Ajobe mi wo kofini mo sempremo
Mi wo be.
Ajobe
Mi wo be.
Ajobe
Mi wo be. Mi wo be. See boy morning up poor. 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 Morning up poor kolo misawa. Leke la we. Alekule nana leke la we. Wana popo wantina poti da goma waya saliko. See boy morning up poor. See boy morning up poor. See girl morning up poor. See boy morning up poor. Morning up poor kolo misawa. Alekule nana leke la we. Alekule nana leke la we. Wana popo wantina poti da goma waya saliko.
Boko
Friday night it was for penny. Saturday night I give you $1. Friday night it was for penny. Saturday night I give you $1. When I come you say you sing. When I go you say you are. When I come you say you sing. When I go you say you are. Today not day for me and you. We gonna find champion. Friday night was so penny. Saturday night I give you $1. Friday night was so penny. Saturday night I give you $1. When I come you say you sing. When I go you say you are. When I come you say you sing. When I go you say you are. Today not day for me and you. We gonna find champion. Abutreye, Papa. See boy morning up boy. See boy morning up boy. Morning up, see boy, morning up, kolo misawa. Alekum le, nana leke la we. Alekum le, nana leke la we. Wana popo wantina poti dago mawaya saniko.
See boy morning up where.
See boy morning up where.
See boy morning up where.
See boy morning up where. Morning up where go me sawa. Alekum le le kalawe. Alekum le le kalawe. Sana baba wati na poti jawo ya saniko.
See boy morning up where.
See boy morning up where.
See boy morning up where.
See boy morning up where. Morning up where kolo misawa. Alekum le nana le kalawe. Alekum le kalawe. Ona papa wanti na poti dabo na ya saniko. Boy morning up where. See boy morning up where. See girl morning up where. See boy morning up where. Morning up where go me sawa. Alekum le nana le kalawe. Alekum le nana le kalawe. Ona bomba wanti na poti dabo moya sadiko. Abotreye, papa. Ninyano abotreye, abotreye, papa.
Yami susum wo.
Yami susum wo.
Kedi empo yami susum wo.
Yami susum wo. Susum wo. Yami bedia mauda.
Yami susum wo.
Yami susum wo.
Kedi empo yami susum wo.
Yami susum wo. Susum wo. Yami bedia mauda. Enuti momi sum yami. Momi endo ye wo. Oni panseri. Achana ye wo. Enuti momi sum yami. Momi endo ye wo. Oni panseri. Achana ye wo.
Yesu be woman that's a beginner. I'm a form of Gamu. Say, Yesu woman, you know. I are a baby. Yami susum wo.
Yami susum wo.
Kedi empo yami susum wo.
Yami susum wo. Susum wo. Yami bedia mauda. Eniti mumi enso yami. Mumi endo ye wo. Oni panseri. Achana ye ko. Uswe samamo, 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 samame yasi. Uswe samamo, 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 samame yasi. Driver ni bitnas ne friend owura usu. Oni yan kunya asem. Ojini jambe otwedua. Adam fo slow twabe. Nti okokwan so a. No fa ho na okoti abeni bia no. Anansa no. Uswe samamo. 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 Samame yasi. Mempe Rabani ko obetwani abeso watin send biano the lances the free to aketechu anase ofan car etisi room odu kumasin kwantia apolice for the one ya kan ni pan ne pan no so chairman that's on copy. Uswe du fie no di grada roma. Satan na betwani so akona beso. Uhu lansisi. E performa de ofai. Odi lansisi bro di group. E bro uswe du fie no. Grada roma ni saka lansisi no. E so na performa de ayira. Uswe samamo, 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 samame yasi. Eme owura usu, esaka lances no. Okachire odikuro se. Madam Fiabo Munyasakro no. Akokore bi otinchen ewu owura se. Se driver ni lances ra. Ye penike de tia. Ana se MTU. Emu munya aketechu ase. Uswe samamo. 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 Samamo, samame yasi. Samamo, 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 samamo. Samame yasi. Ameni lansira enya ketechu ase. Lansira yira. Ebi ana oyiri kuma afie. Ana side chick. Nemom nya ketechu ase. Usue samamo. Samamo, samamo, yo, samamo, samamo, samame yasi.
Eliano Masempanaye,
Asantehemaa, Biamodi, Nana,
Asampanayo, Biamodi, Wana, Eliano Masempanaye, Biamodi, Wana,
baby, okra, and the cramming. Your money is some of my pen. I'm going to grow this soon. Ah, yes, sir. Don't be a money so better. Baby die. Now, Crow said, if you know what tremor, Yahunam. Oh, Jasu. So, catch her, or Craman said, if I some got to the Buas, was in Jenny. And she was a catch and said, I wrote me. Some go anymore. But then, Frama, also maybe one amount. Okra desire, and I'm not a wood just or winning. To Amadi and Chenning, no different promo. A time of Crama Baton. Someone who sound the same.
Ananje you dear bro mo Miss Madam Pai.
I am boy you know.
Kofi so free grandpa Miss Madam Pai.
I am boy you know. Eko besie, ye say wa wa wa. E warabo, ya me kwa mam koda. Koda dam boy you know. I am boy.
Boni mo sempre mo Miss Madam Pai.
I am boy you know.
Ananje you dear bro mo Adam Pai.
Adam boy you know. Eko besie, ye say wa wa wa. Warabo, ya me kwa mam koda. Koda dam boy.
Jamina boy, boy, Jamina boy. I gave you one grass and another way. Jamina boy, I boy, Jamina boy. I gave you one grass. Jamina boy, Osei, Jamina boy. I gave you one grass and another way. Jamina boy, I boy, Jamina boy. I gave you one grass. Nasami beba mi na mujuma se na mi pekura mi mujuma. Me you me abomi amasa se anyi tata. Eni chiri me from me koko tisa winye modobo. Jamina boy, oni mo sempre mo. Jamina boy, aye you wanna rasa na na. Jamina boy, aye boy, Jamina boy. Aye you wanna rasa. Nasami beba mi na mujuma se na mi pekura mi na mujuma. You me abomi amasa se anyi tata. And it's me from the Coco design in your motor. Jamina boy, oh, I am your Jamina boy. Again, you are not brass and another way. Jamina boy, I am a boy, Jamina boy. Di agro mo mesi madam time. Adam boy no. Ana je you di agro mo Adam boy. Adam boy no. Go besie, eru se wa wa. E wa ramo. Kame pa man koda. Koda Adam boy no. Adam boy no. And I say, Katechi, Miss Madam Pine. Adam boy no. Coffee ni mo di agro mo Miss Madam Pine. Adam boy no. Eko besie, eru se wa. E wa dabo. Yamere kwa mam konkoda. Koda Adam boy no. Aye Adam boy no. I'll come on, breko. Sasa breko ne bona mo pe. Come on, breko mo. Ako come on, breko mo. Sasa breko ne bona mo pe. Ako me bo madiatie, o breko e ene no. Ako me bo madiatie. Come on, Sasa breko ne bona mo pe. Agogo mom, breko mom, agogo mom, breko mom, sasa breko nebona mope. Agogo mabo maniachi, breko, no. Agogo mabo maniachi. Okwagi for quatanti anchen. Siana kwang. Ehuni nantie. Tatia to santin sie duani sie. Efisien to breba no wada. Yansafobia bo no sie de. Solia no pa. Memma kwadro nyen na ho. Yen sorry. Akoko mo na breko mo. Enya gmanie mentum pon. Akoko mo breko mo, akoko mo breko mo, sasa breko ne bona mo be. Akoko mo breko mo, akoko mo kana mutie, sasa breko ne bona mo be. Akoko bebo mariachi, o breko ene yeno. Akoko bebo mariachi.
Asante, Tutu memoir. Asante one shot. I will grab ya da da da. Odina, ababa won't touch your baby. Eka Yarea Ohia Sika Rienzuni Owie Msunio Owie Mkomonio Eka Yarea Ohia Ekoma Sika Enyuma metu Madam Fubi Ofregase Odi nsemi breme Den chambon kunnan tenjin tana Owie Misunio Odon ko pepes we diagro Owie mi komonio Aka Yarea Ohia Sika Wie Misuni Owie one ne yire natie Okofa yonko bone na ne yonko no tu no fo bone se ba ofie wo yire okasa dodo
to walk aside, my dear. One to try the man and no. Sana me dia me yira wa ja kasa. Yiadom for boni efutuo. Kofi anwumre. Aye aduane asi wo. O se ne yira nton kruma ntu fufuo no so. Ani wo je twade e na ne yiri na hono ano hono. Bana de cheno. Eto so prensa. Waka chira busuafo se won tun wa dio. Ehwe ne di ku no. Oba yi ko ya. Ori afan no fon. Na fufuo busa no a. Ori akoma na. Ohia na. Sika na. And one phone say. Ayonko bone no. You go here, say yes, no. A matter is actually any one now on your soon fast. Oh, yeah, Miss Sunio. Oh, yeah, Min Comonio. A car. Yaria. Uhia. Sika. Oh, yeah, Miss Sunio. Otumfuo egusani we nyina enso wo munim efutufu boni a wo mudi amomu adamfo a ego wie sei o wi akọ ni yire busuafo ko bu nkotode sire ne yire senye ne nia ayonko boni onwuru bio ami mra fie suro nyame ba fie bae oriana no ho atoni miemfa awo ni kasabre entre wiase eno odo wo mu owie usuni owie mi komoni eka yaria ohia sika yesu mira bina nyanko abewemi mira bina brenya ko abewemi abrenya ko amo mira brenya ko abewemi subamo mira brenya ko abewemi subamo mira brenya ko abewemi abrenya ko amo mira brenya ko abewemi subamo mira brenya ko ameheme abena mira brenya ko ameheme abrenya ko amo mira brenya ko ameheme subamo mira brenya ko ameheme brenya ko amo mira brenya ko ameheme subamo mira brenya ko ama brenya ko ama mira brenya ko ama subamo mira brenya ko ama mira brenya ko ama brenya ko amo mira brenya ko ama subamo abusia wo yantum creo abusie yantum creo abofra na odie abusie wo yantum creo abusie yantum creo abofra na odie owura bi tu kwan gonya ne ho afi no mfa abusie anya we onemoa na usuna ni tri sakrantie ebusuafo ni kusie eno koto kwa ye musasi ya ye hu na bo aban bia ani efen dan chambo ku na ntanchi tana abusia wo yantum krio abusia yantum krio abofra na odie.
For the second edition of the Art Awards. That's what we have started, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the big event. His Majesty the King joins us. Ladies and gentlemen, Otumfuo Osei to the second. I would now welcome you to yet another trailblazer of an event. This is the second edition of the Art Awards. The citadel of culture and tradition. I'm here with my co-MC, Nana Efra Kodi. How are you doing here?
I'm well, how are you?
It was fun, right?
It was.
Okay, now start us off. Let's go. Let's all be seated now. All right, we promise that we're going to keep it very short because it's a Wednesday. We're still within a weekday and people go to work tomorrow, right? And I can't afford to keep my father since for so long. Whilst I'll make sure that Daddy and Mommy move our work. It's very important. It's very, very important. So go and see. You know the drill, right? Let's go straight into action.
A very good evening to all of you. On behalf of the Asantehemaa Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Her Royal Highness Lady Julia Osei Tutu, and the Manhyia Palace Museum, I warmly welcome all of you to the second edition of the Asantehemaa Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Art Awards. Tonight is a very important night for all of Africa because we are gathered here to celebrate certain key agents of Africa's soft power global relevance, our illustrious laureates. Art is a very potent medium of expressing life, and over the years, our distinguished laureates have continued to use their work to create and recreate the tapestry of Africa's beauty, Africa's pain, our resilience, our fortitude, our strength, our past, our present, and even our preferable future. Stemming from this, the Asantehemaa, in his God-given royal wisdom, last year decided to institute this royal project to award deserving individuals who continue to distinguish themselves in this field of life, both to encourage the artists and creators themselves, but also to advance Africa's posterity. And so this event is both celebratory as much as it is a solemn night for Africa. My name is Ohenenana Efiakobi Sewa Ampem Prempe, and I will be your mistress of ceremonies for tonight. I am here with my colleague.
Straight to action. Last year we had an attendance of over 500 from over 5 regions in the country. Sweet and some of them, most of them came out very, very happy, and we saw people artwork. The Swedish artists who are practicing for over half of the century. We had Abaliloma, Alcina P, Francis Pateni O, L. Peggy Apia, Francis Ademola, Nana Ampon Ministerial. Ms. Aurora Rosita, Country Director of the UN World Program. Mr. Shodak Lisa, representing the Executive Director of the Eswatini National Trust Commission. Ms. Richard Ndagawanda, Eswatini Art and Culture, and Mrs. Margaret Agui, Chief Executive of the Creative Seychelles Agency. Also with us, Mr. Frankai, former Attorney General of Seychelles, Stephanie Lisa, Curator from Seychelles, Professor Malcolm McLaren, former Vice Principal, University of Glasgow and the British Museum, Mr. Thomas Manhyia, Executive Group Chairman of the Safari and Honorable General for Colombia, Mr. Konadu, former Chief of Staff President, Dr. Martin Brembe, former Minister of Education and Energy, Professor Rita Akusia Dixon, former Vice Chancellor KNUST, Dr. Stephen Banahini, Vice Chancellor Christian Science and Technology, Professor Zhang Yonghu, China Director, Confucius Institute, University of Cape Coast, Professor Emmanuel Amu, Ghana Director, Confucius Institute, Professor Frederick Kweku Safo, Vice Chancellor, Austed Kumasi, Mrs. Yvonne Dakwa Puku, President, Justice and Repair, Dr. Godfrey Odongu, Vice President, Justice and Repair, Mr. Kofi Abuaji Sapong, Adebi Sapong Foundations, Mr. Yao Safwa Sapong, Adebi Sapong Foundation, Professor Bernard K. Baden, Director of Operations, Royal Golf Club, Dr. Caroline Reindorf Abisa, Deputy Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Ms. Odile Tevi, co-founder of the Buku Foundation Accra, Professor Osman Tayidu, Secretary General, Ghana National Commission on UNESCO, Mr. Kwesi Esel Blankson, Director, Ghana Museums and Monuments Board, Mr. Wakefield Wisdom, Executive Director of the National Commission on Culture, Mrs. Marilyn Mami Efo Cheto, CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority, Professor Hachara El Tani, Board Chairman, National Folklore, Mr. Felix Yao Ajavo, Executive Director, National Folklore, Mr. Gideon Ayekwe, Executive Secretary of the Creative Arts Agency, and Dr. Lily C. Alfonso. Let's put our hands together for all these dignitaries who have been invited to join us today. Okay. And with that, I cross over to my beautiful queen.
Right. Loving C, you have to tell me something about your name. The C in the loving, is it the C that was promised to be brought into Asantehemaa?
It's not the ocean C, it's the alphabet C, and that C, it takes us way back into the day when I was playing in the nightclubs. Okay. Foxtrot, Kiravi, and the C stood for chap. They said that's the loving chap. So C is for the alphabet C.
Amazing.
Thanks so much for that.
Okay, loving C, you would remember that last year when we had the inaugural event, we mentioned that this is a 10-year project which is being spearheaded by the Manhyia Palace Museum. Also now we have two main collaborators for this 10-year project. That's UNESCO Ghana and Justice and Repair. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for them. We also have support from Adebi Sapong Foundation and from our own Ministry of Culture, Tourism, and the Creative Arts. We have representatives from all these four stakeholder institutions here with us tonight. Okay, so this entire evening, just like last year, we hope to be done in exactly 2 hours. Tonight is divided into 5 distinct but related parts, and so we ask you to please pay rapt attention to each beautiful part that is about to unfold. My colleague Lovin C has already done the first part of acknowledging our laureates and our dignitaries here with us. So already we are in part 2. I told you to please pay attention because the night will go really fast. So for our second part, this is the part where we receive various addresses from our stakeholders to this project. We will kick off by inviting the director of the Manhyia Palace Museum, Mr. Ivor Ajimaindia, to give us the welcome address. Thank you.
Yes.
Today marks exactly 85 years from 1931 since the elders of Kumasi and the British colonial authorities unofficially communicated to the Gold Coast colony that the Asantehemaa Prempeh I had joined eternity. We will humbly invite the heritage bearer, his great-grandnephew, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, to lead us in a minute of silence in his memory as we stand. May his soul, the soul of those who perish, ashore the Indian Ocean, and those of others who return, continue to rest in peace. Please be seated. Imperial ambitions, reflected in Asante's own history of lost battles, looted regalia, and exile, shaped the creative outlook of his visual artists. From goldsmiths and bronze casters to terracotta artists in the 1800s. The most visible reminders of these were returned from the British Museum and the Victoria and Albert Museum 2 years ago. The Asantehema's position was that contemporary art in Ghana faces a real threat. Local acquisition and patronage are increasingly weak, as Ghanaian works are being purchased or lost through auction markets. The Otumfuo Art Awards is therefore a mechanism of self-renewal and internal appreciation. After the inaugural last May, 2 works of the laureates, Professor Atudilaki and Kwame Akoto, were part of the Hands of Heritage exhibition at the National Gallery in Victoria, Seychelles. It was inspired and in the spirit of an MOU with the Creative Seychelles Agency. And again, we are happy to have the Executive Director with us. We have had similar engagements with the National Trust Commission of the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Rwandan Cultural Heritage Academy, in which the shared histories of these ancient kingdoms will be better related to the youth of their countries through ICT. As we welcome all of you, we are mindful of the intentions that unite us. We have benefited from the historical memories of the 103-year-old Agnes Adokufo, wife of the late Asantehemaa Prempeh II. Over 6 years ago, our current collections manager, Gordon Frimpong, worked with her to secure for us more than 100 visual images documenting the socio-cultural movements and people of Kumasi from the 1950s. We have conducted similar exercises on acquisition of old photography for archiving and possible exhibitions. A working title of the images of Kumasi will benefit from a British Museum grant as part of its image makers that is exploring photographs from Africa. We continue to receive inquiries on our restitution journeys locally and internationally, including from some of you distinguished guests. Perhaps this is an opportunity to explain some few developments. The Wallace collection in the United Kingdom, which has some of the most exotic global works of art, especially gold collection of the 19th century millionaire, Sir Richard Wallace, has designed 2 major exhibitions of English and Asante interest. On May 29th, a couple of weeks from now, there will be the opening of Winston Churchill's The Painter, the art of the famous British leader of the Allied forces during the Second World War, and whose 50 painting exhibition has already been oversubscribed in the entire 6 months. It will be followed from October 14th to November 2027 by Encountering Gold, Asante and the Wallace collection in the housekeeper's room at the Hartford House. The 5-month exhibition of gold regalia looted in the Third Anglo-Ashanti War in 1874 will officially be opened by the Asantehemaa Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, and will have a companion international conference of over 200 participants. It will be the formal openings of our restitution engagement with them. Again, in the last 2 years, from May 2024, we have worked with the Wellcome Collection in London, a major trust established in memory of another famous British millionaire, scientist, and art collector, Henry Wellcome. He also purchased looted objects from the 19th century. We have done the identification and authentication of the objects at their national collection in England, and developing a request for the permanent return of the first 8 of 56 objects. This should be at the end of this year, and the first return will be from early next year. The provenance history entailed translations from Arabic into English of talismanic materials and objects from the early 1800s to the 50s. This is funded by them and involved 2 specialists, including Professor David Owusu-Ansah of James Madison University. This was a period when Muslim clerics dominated military policies during the reign of Asantehemaa Osei Kwame, and those of his succeeding brothers, Asantehemaa Osei Bonsu and Osei Yao Akuto. On November 9th last year, we visited the National Army Museum in the Industrial Park outside of Stevenage in north of London, which has some of the other looted objects, including, ironically, gifts from the great imperial empress, Queen Victoria, to Asantehemaa Kofi Kakari. They were taken by her own looting brigade, which did not seem to know the difference between home gifts, that is homemade ones, and indigenous ones. On their return from the October inquest and authentication, lithographic images were presented for Otumfuo's review on October 29th. It was, however, during the London visit that we discovered famous paintings of 2 soldiers from Kwabri district in the Mampong Tin town of Kumasi, that is very close to Kumasi. That's the Hungarian who we will be celebrating this evening, entitled The Hungarian Artist in the Gold Coast, Ghana. We have developed a strategy for a central storage facility to house incoming objects and those already in our care, ensuring that these ancestral handmaidens are properly secured in their original homes. Aside the Kotokohini's personal interest and investment, goodness favored our collaboration with Justice and Repair. In collaboration with them, a new central museum storage with conservation and traditional music house will be completed before the end of the year and will be the largest in the country, standing alongside a new arts and culture gallery in this palace, which is set to be open in the coming months, probably 2 months from now, by the Asante. We are grateful to its founders, the lawyer previously with MacArthur Foundation in Chicago, Yvonne Dakwapoku, and the Kenyan non-resident senior fellow at the Atlantic Council, and formerly with the Wellspring Foundation in the United States, Dr. Godfrey Odongo. As well, we are partnering the Nelson Mandela Foundation in a major exhibition on the sometimes little discussed slave trade in the Indian Ocean. This will be in Mauritius in August this year, and it is titled Forgotten Since One, of some 35 paintings, which will be varied in November at this museum in another exhibition as Forgotten Since Two. It will be with some Indian Ocean artists, including from Seychelles. Since the Otumfuo-led restitution journeys began, we have received global gestures and media attention, not least from reparatory institutions, but high art patrons. To help with growth and broader internationalization of our objectives, the executive chairman of the Savani Group, Thomas Swanika, who in diplomacy is also the Consul General for Colombia, and wife of Ambassador Johan Swanika, last week donated to us a brand new 4-wheel drive. Whilst we share these with you, we revert to our 2026 laureates and applaud them. Our big welcome, however, goes to Lady Julia Osei Tutu. The chief patron of the Arts Award, who has supported Ghanaian artists, and quietly over the years as a collector. Of course, she does this with her husband. Yesterday, she hosted the laureates, members of the diplomatic community, and friends to a welcome cocktail reception that carried her own distinctive touch. We will want to welcome again and again to Kumasi Professor Malcolm MacLeod, co-founder 30 years ago of the Manhyia Palace Museum, a good friend of the Asante, who has traveled from Scotland to be with us on his 85th birthday. This year also happens to be 60 years since he started coming to Ghana as a young scholar from Oxford. It was through his friend, the Archbishop Emeritus of the Catholic Church, His Eminence Peter Kwesi Sapon. Professor MacLeod, you may acknowledge your recognition. Appreciations are also due the institutions of the laureate coming from outside Ghana. Their travels and other logistics were self-funded, for which we are most grateful. From London, the Theatre Modern and the British Museum, and from the United States, Owuzu's and Efia Prempeh Studios in New York. The delegation from Eswatini and their Ministry of Culture, and the Executive Director of Creative Seychelles Agency from the government of Seychelles. The museum staff put in a lot. The collections department and the head of research, Dr. Osei, who also led our team in the UNESCO Maiden National Memory of World Register. We are also grateful to our curator, who is an associate of the museum and who we commissioned to do the portraits of the laureates, Patrick Williams Diodu, and of course to Nana Efia Prempeh, who was also with us last year. The finance team at the museum ensured that prudent savings from last year will cater for the expenditure of this event, which has been held mainly on the shoulders of the museum's revenue. We are developing a financial partnership strategy to keep this going, and would like to express our profound gratitude to others like the DB Sapon Foundation, set up by the children of our former board chair, Mr. Yaomenu Sapon. We will also like to say that the revamped museum website has started publishing its restitutions updates, cultural assets, the tangibles and the intangibles, as well as briefs on the annual financial incomes and expenditures, grants and others, as a standard practice, and we encourage you to visit the site. Again, we would like to thank all of you, and you are most welcome to the Manhyia Palace and to the museum.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give another deserving round of applause to Mr. Ivor Agyemangua. I dare say that you will not find another director more hardworking, yet as unassuming as Mr. Ivor Agyemangua. Any Ajumama Asantehemaa in Ghana, Mr. Ivor, thank you. Okay. We would now like to welcome remarks from the UNESCO representative in Ghana, Mr. Edmond Mukala.
Your Majesty, Otumfuo Tutu, Honorable Abla Jifa Gomashe, Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Her Ladyship, Julia Osei Tutu, Nananom, Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic present here, distinguished guests, our dear director of the Manhyia Palace Museum, esteemed artists and laureates of the night, dedicated members of the professional media and press corps, ladies and gentlemen. It is an immense sense of reverence and shared purpose that I stand within this historic hall of the Manhyia Palace. We are gathered today in a space that is far more than a seat of traditional power. It is one of the living hearts of a civilization. For centuries, the Ashanti Kingdom has been a custodian of human dignity, a center of intellectual rigor, and a bastion of artistic sophistication. Today, as we prepare to celebrate the second edition of the Asantehemaa Art Prize, we are participating in a moment that is both a continuation of an ancient lineage and a bold leap into the creative future on the African continent. Allow me first to wish His Majesty Otumfuo Tutu a belated birthday, Papa. Yes. UNESCO presence here today is a gesture, a deep formal gratitude. We owe an immense debt of thanks to His Majesty. His Majesty has exemplified the role of transformative leadership in the 21st century by championing the protection, promotion, and sustainability of Ghana's artistic heritage. He has provided the vital patronage that allows the creative spirit to flourish. In many parts of the world, traditional heritage is under threat from the forces of homogenization. However, here in the Ashanti Kingdom, we see the opposite. We see a royal vision that uses heritage as a shield and a sword, protecting the ancient while striking new ground in the creative arts. And may I also be permitted to recognize Lady Julia Osei Tutu, who through her unwavering dedication to the empowerment of artistic communities has ensured that these awards are inclusive and representative. Her focus on ensuring that the youth and women have a seat at the artistic table has transformed this competition into a movement. UNESCO particularly appreciates the sustainability focus of this initiative. This award do not only celebrate one-off achievements, they create a cultural ecosystem where artists gain visibility, mentorship, and the resources to continue their vital work for decades to come. A cornerstone of this movement in this exceptional collaboration with the Manhyia Museum is our director, present here. UNESCO believes that museums are the true classroom of the soul. No longer can museums be static repositories of artifacts. There must be active participants in the creative economy. Our collaboration with the Manhyia Palace Museum in the context of this award is a testament to this belief. By housing the work of the laureate within this historic precinct, we are situating contemporary excellence within the continuum of the Ashanti history. The museum's commitment to modern curatorial standards, research, and documentation serves as an international model for how traditional sites can lead in the globalized digital age. UNESCO also takes this opportunity to praise the visionary leadership of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, President of Ghana, faithfully represented here by the able Honorable Abla Komashe, Minister of Culture, Tourism, and Arts. We have consistently observed, Honorable, a strategic shift in the ministry pathway, one that moves beyond simple preservation and into the realm of strategic development. The ministry have recognized that the future of Ghana lies in its people's creativity. By connecting the heritage of the past with the forward-looking vision of the present, The ministry is building an ecosystem where heritage creativity meets. The recently implemented UNESCO Culture 2030 Indicators initiative with the ministry has been championing with the support of the European Union, with our Excellency Ambassador present here, in whom we would like to express again our gratitude, and which the city of Kumasi has been one of the key pilot city in the implementation of this project at the urban level, alongside with the national level implementation. This has provided an important framework for measuring the contribution of culture to sustainable development. The findings of the report underline that cultural and creative industry generate employment, particularly for young people and women. Museum and heritage institutions stimulate tourism and local economies. Public investment in culture strengthens social cohesion, civic participation, and national identity. Honorable Minister, the leadership we see today is indeed a blueprint for integrating culture into the national development goals. So tonight, as we celebrate the laureate and artists whose work reminds us that art is not merely an object of admiration, but an interpretation of our history, challenging our assumption and imagining our future. This moment is especially significant in light of Ghana's leadership on international stage, where Ghana's role at the United Nations in advancing resolution related to the restitution and return of cultural property has reignited a necessary global conversation about justice, memory, and historical repair, converting the force of triangular trade of shame into a triangular dialogue of mutual understanding and human dignity. The return of African cultural heritage is not simply about the movement of objects from one museum to another. It is about restoring dignity, reconnecting communities with their history, while ensuring that a future generation can appreciate the creativity and their ancestors' ingenuity within their own cultural landscapes. In this regard, UNESCO also wishes to congratulate once again His Majesty for the important contribution made by some of his subjects, cultural custodians, scholars, practitioners in supporting Ghana through the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, in advancing the inscription efforts for the craftsmanship of Kente and for high life music and dance, and also in particular in the recent Memory of the World registry that has been just registered a few months ago. These are, yes, don't be shy, you can applaud yourself. These are invaluable expressions of Ghanaians and African identity whose recognition strengthens the safeguarding of Africa's living heritage for future generations. And I'm winding up. So this is why initiatives such as the Asantehemaa Art Prize matter deeply. They nurture talent, they inspire excellence, and they create visibility for African artists worldwide. It is in like manner that I'm pleased, in consultation with the director of the Manhyia Museum, I'm pleased and honored to inform you that the World Movie Awards and UNESCO and the Manhyia Museum have advanced significantly in their consultation to preserve and promote Africa's living heritage and creative identity. What does it mean? It means that we are going to launch very soon a movie prize award on tradition and cultural values. So movies globally will be valued and assessed on how deep they reflect the depths of culture and traditions. And the competition, of course, wait, on that one you have to wait. The competition, of course, will carry the name of no one other than His Majesty. And yes, you can shout. This is a global movie award. The prize for the continental Africa will carry His Majesty's legacy as he has been championing this era of heritage, culture, but in particular, we would like his legacy in nurturing and inspiring younger generation to understand that you should not be ashamed or shy of your tradition and culture, but these are actually your roots and what makes your culture identity. And he is our living testimony, our champion and our leader in inspiring, in grooming, and in building, and also in bringing forward. And so we're looking forward, once all the work within his entourage has been completed, and we know His Majesty himself will announce it at the proper time. But just know it's coming, and movie producer, be ready, because the greater prize also is coming again in very soon. So we believe this gesture will not only honor the Ashanti Kingdom's immense contribution to African heritage and leadership, but will also establish a cultural significant platform capable of inspiring generations across Africa and the diaspora. As UNESCO, we reaffirm our commitment to working with the government, traditional authorities, cultural institutions, artists, and community to protect and promote cultural heritage in all its forms, tangible and intangible. We commend the Kingdom of Asante for continuing to champion cultural leadership with vision and purpose. We congratulate all the laureates present whose achievement we honored with this evening. And we encourage the next generation of African artists to continue creating boldly, truthfully, and fearlessly. May this art prize continue to grow as a beacon of African excellence, cultural renewal, and international cooperation. I thank you very much. Meda sepi, that was my word I said in Asante. Thank you.
Mr. Mukala, as we'll say in Ghana, okay, Mr. Mukala, well done. You're lucky you spoke that tree, because you remember last year, you promised to come up here and speak some fluent tree. So, yeah, but you can do better. So maybe the 5th edition, you speak 10 sentences. D'accord? All right, okay. Please put your hands together for Mr. Edmond Mukala. Okay. Now would like to hear from a very special lady to Ghana's cultural and creative cause. The Honorable Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, the Honorable Abla Jifa Gomashi. Please put your hands together as she comes.
Good evening, everybody. Otumfuo, Your Royal Majesty. As I was sitting there listening to the eloquent MCs, my mind went back to, I think it must have been 2015, that I joined you to open a hotel here in Kumasi. And I asked you why we can't just say Otumfuo, because in the whole world, there can only be one Otumfuo. Otumfuo Medasi. Your Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Asantehemaa, and life patron of arts and culture. Your beautiful wife, Lady Julia. I want to ask permission through Openyi Ivor so that I fly on the wings of the MC's protocols eloquently listed already, out of fear of perhaps forgetting to acknowledge one of the Otumfuo's guests. Who am I? So permission has been granted. I see that Otumfuo has nodded. It is a profound honor for me to be here as a special guest of honor at the 2nd Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Asantehemaa Awards. A special event aimed at celebrating our identity, excellence, and the soul of our beautiful country, Ghana, expressed through the power of arts, culture, creativity, and heritage. And above all, a celebration of the visionary leadership embodied in one man, His Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. Your Majesty, for decades, you have stood as one of the greatest custodians of Ghanaian culture on the global stage and in Ghana. Through your wisdom, dignity, scholarship, and statesmanship, you have elevated the image of Ghanaian culture to the appreciation and celebration of people across the continents. From the preservation of our heritage to the promotion of the creative arts, from education to tourism development, your leadership continues to inspire generations across Ghana, Africa, and the diaspora. I bring you warm assurances from His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama that government remains fully committed to supporting your efforts and all national initiatives aimed at promoting tourism, culture, and creative arts. We recognize that the creative economy is not merely entertainment, but a strategic pillar for national development, job creation, youth empowerment, and global cultural influence. This is in line with the mission and vision of the Asantehemaa Arts Awards, which centers on promoting Ghanaian and African artistic heritage while supporting future generations of creatives. I'm therefore happy to inform you, Your Excellency or Your Majesty, that the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts remains deeply committed to safeguarding Ghana's rich cultural heritage through sustained stakeholder engagement, technical consultations, and collaborations with stakeholders such as Parliament, civil society, private sector practitioners, and international partners. In one of such collaborations, the Ministry in 2015 successfully facilitated Ghana's ratification and implementation of 6 UNESCO cultural conventions. This milestone has strengthened the legal and institutional framework for the protection of our tangible and intangible heritage, enhanced opportunities for Ghanaian creatives and cultural practitioners, promoted cultural diversity, and increased access to international cooperation, funding, and capacity building programs. The positive impact is already evident in the glowing and growing global recognition of Ghanaian culture, hence the listing of Kete, and I dare say in my language, Kete, high life music and dance as intangible cultural heritage from Ghana. But it is important that we acknowledge that Ghana's successful inscription of Kente in 2024 and high life music and dance in 2025 on the UNESCO ICH list did not just happen spontaneously. Your Majesty, the successful listing of these 2 living cultural assets of our country was as a result of deliberate, multi-year national processes involving community participation, technical documentation, safeguarding planning, and formal nomination procedures initiated by the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and Creative Arts with guidance from the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage. Permit me, Otumfuo, to share a background to the success story of Kete being listed. Before UNESCO nomination, Ghana had to identify, document, and validate the cultural elements at the national level. The ICH should be confirmed as crafts which is already recognized in Ghana's Cultural Heritage Inventory. To achieve this was the inventory involving mapping major weaving communities in the country, Bonyue, Agotime, and Petwe, and documenting community-specific techniques, meanings, transmission systems, and community custodians. Otumfuo, finally, nomination dossier is prepared, comprising detailed descriptions of the elements, evidence of community participation, safeguarding plans, photographs, videos, and testimonies, and proof of inclusion in the national inventory. The ministry had to work with the National Folklore Board, an agency under the ministry, Ghana Commission for UNESCO, National Commission on Culture, an agency also under the ministry, and traditional authorities and weaving communities to coordinate research, community engagement, and international representation to successfully file the nomination dossier for consideration by UNESCO. UNESCO then will look at the country's compliance with the 2003 Convention, community involvement and ownership, safeguarding feasibility and contribution to cultural diversity before considering giving approval for certificates for listing. Your Majesty, very, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, again, in furtherance of our commitment to promote culture and creative art, I am pleased to announce that the long-awaited review of Ghana's 2004 culture policy has been completed, approved by Cabinet, and will soon be officially launched for implementation. You should be clapping. Thank you. This renewed policy framework, the reviewed policy framework will reposition our cultural and creative industries for the modern era. It will strengthen heritage preservation, support artists and creatives, deepen cultural education, expand cultural diplomacy, and unlock new economic opportunities for our people. This milestone reflects government's determination to build a vibrant and globally competitive creative economy, one that honors our traditions while embracing innovation and the future. Your Majesty, Nananom, distinguished artists, one of the quiet but profoundly significant achievements since I took office as the Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts has been the work of the Bureau of Ghana Languages, an agency under the ministry in preserving and promoting Ghana's indigenous languages. Through dedicated linguistic research, documentation, and orthography development, the Bureau successfully supported the transformation of the Ahanta language from a predominantly oral tradition into a written language with standardized spelling and educational materials. This milestone not only safeguards the rich heritage, history, and identity of the Ahanta people for future generations, but also strengthens literacy, cultural pride, and inclusion, national development. By giving written expression to language, we are ensuring that songs, folk tales, proverbs, and indigenous knowledge systems of communities are preserved and celebrated as part of Ghana's living cultural legacy. This is in line with UNESCO's requirements of countries that have ratified the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage and the celebration of the International Mother Language Day. Ohene, in the coming months, we will be unveiling the next 2 languages that we have developed and we have worked on successfully. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Majesty, the ministry is also working seriously to provide adequate protection of intellectual property of our creatives. With guidance from the Creative Arts Industry Act 2020, Act 1048, we remain steadfast in formalizing our sector and protecting the intellectual property of our creators. Let me take this opportunity to announce that the ministry is in partnership with the World Intellectual Property Organization to organize for the first time in history African Regional Fantastic Agents for Creative Economy. Acronym is FACE. This conference will be in Ghana in June 2026. The initiative is intended to benefit stakeholders in the creative industry of over 20 African and Caribbean nations. At this conference, Ghanaian creators and artists will be provided access to the WIPO Creators Learn Intellectual Property platform, acronym is CLIP, which is designed to raise awareness of intellectual property, rights, and related management practices, and to ensure that the creators receive appropriate recognition and fair remuneration for their work. Now to our distinguished foreign dignitaries and guests who have traveled from across the world to honor this occasion. I say Ayiko, Mumoni Ejumawai. Your presence here tonight is a testament to the growing global significance of Ghanaian arts and culture. We're deeply honored by your support and friendship as you experience the warmth of Manhyia and the hospitality of Ghana. I hope you carry with you memories that will draw you back again and again. Manhyia will always welcome you. Ghana will always welcome you. To all the award winners this evening, congratulations. Your talent, sacrifice, creativity, and resilience continue to shape the cultural narrative of our nation. Through your work, you preserve our stories, inspire our youth, and project Ghana's identity to the world. Tonight's recognition is richly deserved. Finally, Otumfuo, permit me to once again express my deepest appreciation for this noble initiative. The Asantehemaa Arts Awards is a national statement that culture and arts matter. We matter. It is an enduring investment in the soul of our nation. May your reign continue to bring peace, wisdom, unity, and progress to Asantehemaa and to Ghana. May God bless the Otumfuo. May God bless the Asantehemaa and your beautiful wife. May God bless Asantehemaa, and may God bless our creatives. And finally, may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation greater and stronger. Ohene, me da asese wo mama kwenye isa me mekasa anadwi. Onyame sha bebre.
Thank you, Honorable Ablajifa Gomashi. Now, welcoming all the way from the Kingdom of Eswatini, we would like to hear from the Chief Executive Officer of the National Trust Commission of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Mr. Mduduzi Nzunisa.
Your Majesty, King Otumfuo Osei, Tutu II, Her Royal Highness, the Queen, the Honorable Minister of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts, Excellencies, Ambassadors present, esteemed artists and curators, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening. It is my deepest sense of humility and profound respect that I stand before you today. We extend our warmest greetings from the Kingdom of Eswatini, carrying the goodwill and regards of our own cultural custodians to this gathering of excellence. On behalf of the Kingdom of Eswatini, I wish to express our sincere and heartfelt gratitude to the organizers of the awards. Thank you for the invitation to witness this second edition, which stands as a testament to the enduring power of the creative spirit. To the Manhyia Palace Museum, thank you for your unwavering commitment to preserving the Asante legacy and for providing a platform that recognizes not just the talent of today, but the cultural heritage that echoes our future. This occasion is deeply personal for Eswatini National Trust Commission. It represents more than a mere cultural exchange. It is the manifestation of a diplomatic bridge established by His Majesty, King Mswati III. The warmth of our welcome today serves as a vivid reminder of the shared values of the two monarchs, heritage and artistic preservation that unite our two great nations. This current collaboration between Eswatini National Museum and Manhyia Palace Museum began with a historic state visit by His Majesty King Mswati III to the Asante Kingdom. This encounter was far more than just a ceremonial exchange. It was a profound meeting of minds between two monarchs who share a deep, abiding commitment to the preservation of traditional values and the safeguarding of national identity in an ever modernizing world. During these deliberations, the two sovereigns recognized that while our kingdoms are geographically separated, we are intrinsically linked by the prominence of our traditional institutions and our belief that culture serves as a foundation for societal progress. This real friendship cultivated a shared vision to elevate the role of museums as not merely repository of the past, but as dynamic hubs of education, pride, and national diplomacy. The vision articulated by our leaders found its most tangible expression in November 2025, with the formal signing of an MOU between the two museums. This landmark agreement serves as a framework for sustainable cooperation, committing both our organizations to a path of shared knowledge, technical assistance, and cultural promotion. Your Majesty, this MOU is not merely a document held in administrative files, it is a living commitment to institutional growth. It acknowledges that the preservation of African heritage requires collective effort, standardized best practices, and the sharing of diverse curatorial experiences. By aligning our efforts, the Eswatini National Trust Commission and the Manhyia Palace Museum are setting a standard for how cultural institutions can bridge distances, fostering unified voice that celebrates the resilience, sophistication, and enduring beauty of our shared African heritage. As I conclude, the Eswatini National Trust Commission wish to reaffirm our absolute dedication to the partnership formalized through the MOU that was signed in November 2025. This document is a solemn promise, not only to our respective ministries and institutions, but to our people, that we will stand together to preserve our cultural heritage. We extend our best wishes for the continued success of the Asante Osei Tutu II Awards. May this event grow in scope and influence with each passing year, becoming the premium platform for recognizing creative brilliance within the Asante Kingdom. To the Asante and the people of Asante Kingdom, we thank you for your warmth, your hospitality, and the incredible example you set for the world. May the friendship within the Kingdom of Eswatini and the Asante Kingdom continue to flourish, rooted in mutual respect, shared heritage, and a common vision for an empowered and culturally rich future. Siyabonga, Madasepa, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a few more addresses to go. I ask you to pay rapt attention, just like how some of our forefathers used to pay attention when they are listening to winning lotto numbers, right? I know nobody in this room listens to winning lotto numbers, only those outside. Okay. So when we started, I mentioned to you that one of the collaborators of this 10-year project is Justice and Repair. We would hear remarks from its co-founder, Ms. Yvonne Dakwa-Poku. A round of applause for her.
Your Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Your Royal Highness, Lady Julia, Honorable Laureates, distinguished representatives of governments, ambassadors, and high commissions, ladies and gentlemen. I thank God Almighty for the opportunity to be here today at the second edition of the Asantehemaa Otumfuo II Art Awards. As a daughter of Asantehemaa, I am deeply honored to represent my organization, Justice and Repair, in the company of my co-founder, Dr. Godfrey Odongo. JNR has partnered with the Manhyia Palace Museum in advancing a shared vision of cultural restoration, creative excellence, and reparatory justice through restitution. Since the signing of our Memorandum of Understanding in March 2025, this collaboration has deepened cultural cooperation around the restitution of heritage and cultural property, the preservation of memory, and the recognition of artistic and intellectual contributions that continue to shape post-colonial African thought and creativity. We are committed to supporting initiatives that amplify dialogue on historical injustice, celebrate cultural leadership, and reaffirm the global significance of Asante heritage. Building on the success of our partnership at the Centering Healing Summit in 2025 in Accra, we are poised to deepen and sustain our collaboration with the Manhyia Palace Museum. This continued partnership affirms our shared commitment to the preservation and documentation of cultural property. We have been impressed with the work of the new collections department at the museum and are eagerly waiting to share and disseminate their inventory of restituted objects through innovative and creative ways. We are also planning to jointly host a high-level retreat in the Seychelles, a country of deep historical and cultural significance to the Asante Kingdom. It is noteworthy that through the efforts of the museum, hundreds of Asante governance objects and regalia from the 1900s have made their way back home. The purpose of the retreat, therefore, is to take stock and learn lessons from the homecoming of these objects a year after, towards a larger continental conversation on restitution that others can benefit from. We firmly believe that if we seek to reclaim what was looted, they must be returned to a new and capable home. As a result, and as previously mentioned by the director of the museum, our partnership includes the construction of a modern central archival vault to be located next to the museum. Earlier today, we had the opportunity to tour the site for the construction with the palace engineer and left inspired and deeply grateful to Otumfuo for the opportunity to be a part of this endeavor. We are proud to have supported the inaugural edition of the Art Awards, which recognized the works of first-generation post-colonial artists such as Ablade Glover, Francis Niowu, Kwame Akoto, and other cultural avant-garde, including art historian and gallerist Peggy Appiah and Francis Ademola. Our continuing commitment and support for this second edition is at the heart of our shared dedication to ensuring that restitution is not only about the return of cultural property, but also about restoring and preserving meaning, memory, and dignity through education, storytelling, artistic expression, and public engagement. We are proud to stand alongside the Manhyia Palace Museum. We are honored by the opportunity given to us in this important work to support platforms such as this that embody the values of excellence, responsibility, and cultural continuity. Thank you. Midasi.
Thank you very much, Ms. Yvonne Dakwa-Poku. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot have such an important international event without hearing from stakeholder institutions within the diplomatic corps. Would now like to welcome the European Union Ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Ronnie Skinback. Thank you.
Your Royal Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Chief Patron of the awards and event tonight, Lady Julia, Honorable Ablajifa Kumachi, Minister of Tourism and Creative Arts, distinguished artists and curators, UNESCO country representative, Mr. Edmund Mukala, colleagues and members of the diplomatic corps, Nan Norman, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to stand on already established protocol. Good evening. I'm very honored to be here tonight representing the EU as we celebrate the many talented nominees at the second edition of the Art Awards. We are humbled to answer any opportunity to frequent the Manhyia Palace in honor of His Royal Majesty, and especially so in the company of tonight's laureates and incredible artists. The European Union is deeply supportive of initiatives that promote Ghanaian arts. We do more than technical discussions about trade, political dialogue, or development support. And yes, we may be the #1 development partner, the largest investor in Ghana, the largest export market for Ghana, but we do not lose sight of the promotion of the arts as a core stream in our work. We support the preservation of cultural heritage and celebration of diversity. We are proud to launch Sankofa 2, a program to bolster Ghana's creative industries, heritage and culture. We also promote the arts as it builds community, it reconciles communities, and builds empathy and understanding. The arts serve as a vehicle, a mobilization for young people as they pursue future careers, and it serves to own communication skills. I'm sure the distinguished artists in our midst will concur that surviving as an artist requires not just talent and creativity, but also entrepreneurial spirit and a permissive work environment. We, the EU, have promoted sustainable fashion through fashion shows arranged by Ghanaian clothing designers with the OR Foundation, or through our continued support through the Manhyia Literature Festival in Accra, which support writers of all forms of literary arts. We are proud to support where we can, and we hope to continue this support in the future. But tonight is not about what the EU is doing. Above all, it's a celebration of Ghana's exceptional talent. And I'm excited to see how gifted individuals we celebrate today will continue to trailblaze a path in this industry. They will no doubt inspire and pave the way for future artists to further broaden the recognition of African art around the world. Many thanks again, Your Majesty, for investing time and raising awareness of Ghana's exceptional talent, and to UNESCO as well for promoting such an important initiative. We are honored to be present. Meso Medasi P.
Thank you, sir. Medasi seems to be the popular word for tonight, right? I think before you all leave Manhyia, you're going to learn more than Medasi. Okay, for our last but one address, we would like to receive remarks from the Hungarian ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Tamas Feher.
Your Majesty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Your Royal Highness Lady Julia Osei Tutu II, Nime Name Nanamum, Honorable Minister, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a profound honor for me to stand here this evening in Kumasi at the historic Manhyia Palace Museum on the gracious invitation extended to Hungary. I bring you warm greetings from Hungary and convey our deep respect for the Asante Kingdom, its traditions, and its enduring cultural legacy. Allow me first to commend the vision behind the Asantehemaa Art Awards. This initiative is not only a celebration of artistic excellence, but also a powerful affirmation that culture remains at the heart of identity, dialogue, and progress. In a rapidly changing world, such platforms remind us that art is not merely an aesthetic pursuit, but a bridge between peoples and generations. This year's celebration carries a particularly meaningful resonance for Hungary. We mark the 75th anniversary of one of the most iconic works housed in this museum, the portrait of His Majesty Osei Ajman Prempa II, painted by the Hungarian artist Helen Ursenyi Breznai. Her life and work stand as a remarkable testament to the deep and human connections that can flourish across continents. Arriving in the Gold Coast in the late 1940s, Helen and her husband Michael found in Kumasi not only inspiration, but a home. For nearly 2 decades, they lived among the people of Ashanti, embraced by the richness of its culture and the warmth of its society. What began as an artistic journey became a lifelong bond. Their friendship with His Majesty Prempa II and his family transcended formality. It was genuine, personal, and enduring. It was through this bond that the celebrated portrait we honor today came into being. Yet, Helen's contribution extends far beyond a single masterpiece. She documented a transformative period in Ghana's history, capturing the faces, the spirit, and the aspirations of a nation on the path to independence. She painted Kwame Nkrumah in the early 1950s as well as the last British governor of the Gold Coast, Sir Charles Auden Clarke, thus bearing witness through her art to one of the most significant transitions in modern African history. Her legacy, preserved and elevated today through the work of the museum and its director, Mr. Ivor Ajmandua, reminds us that art can serve as a historic archive, a cultural dialogue, and a symbol of friendship all at once. It is therefore a deeply moving moment that we are invited, together with Her Royal Highness Lady Julia Osei Tutu II, to unveil Helen Ursenyi-Bresnai's self-portrait today. This act is more than a ceremonial gesture. It is a tribute to a shared heritage and to a Hungarian artist who became, in many ways, part of Ghana's own cultural story. Your Majesty, ladies and gentlemen, the story of Helen Ursenyi-Bresnai reflects a broader and long-standing friendship between Ghana and Hungary. Though geographically distant, our nations have been connected for decades through education, culture, and mutual respect. This relationship has gained renewed momentum in recent years, particularly since the reopening of the Hungarian embassy in Accra in 2016, and most recently with the establishment of Ghana's embassy in Budapest only last year. These milestones signal not only diplomatic engagement, but a shared commitment to deepening cooperation across multiple fields. Today, our partnership extends dynamically. Beyond cultural ties, we are witnessing growing economic cooperation, educational exchange, and collaboration in areas such as water management, agriculture, and innovation. Yet, it is culture, the human connection, that continues to provide the strongest foundation for these developments. In this spirit, I'm especially pleased to acknowledge that a distinguished Hungarian artist accompanies my delegation this evening, Kati Tordai. Having lived in Ghana since 1979, she embodies nearly half a century of Hungarian-Ghanaian relations. Her work as a bead artist and her deep integration into Ghanaian society make her a living bridge between our cultures, an open lexicon of shared history, creativity, and friendship. Your Majesty, distinguished guests, the Asantehemaa Art Awards celebrate not only artistic achievement, but also the enduring dialogue between tradition and modernity, between local heritage and global exchange. Hungary is proud to be part of this dialogue, both through the legacy of artists like Helen Ursenyi-Bresnai and through our continued engagement with Ghana today. May this evening inspire new collaborations, new friendships, and new works of art that will, in time, tell the story of our shared future just as beautifully as those of the past. I thank you for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, to round up this session of addresses, we'll welcome Ghana's former ambassador to France and currently the president of the Heritage and Culture Society of Africa, Ambassador Johanna Swaneker.
Your Royal Majesty, Asantehemaa Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Your Royal Highness Lady Julia Nananom, the Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Creative Arts, Honorable Jifa Gomashi, Your Excellencies, Mr. Ivor Ajmandua, Director of Manhyia Palace Museum, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the need for high-level support of artists and creative industries in Ghana is imperative and urgent. Therefore, the significance and importance of His Majesty and Lady Julia's leadership in supporting the creative sector cannot be overstated. This is a seismic shift which could have a transformative impact on the careers of all types of creative artists and the economic fortunes of the country. I'm honored and privileged to be here today to have the opportunity to share the experience of a non-profit, non-governmental organization I founded in 2016, the Heritage and Cultural Society of Africa Foundation, which has brought communities, the private sector, and international stakeholders together, both in Ghana and the diaspora, to support economic development through the promotion of heritage culture and the creative arts. In 2014, I became Ghana's ambassador to France and Portugal and permanent delegate to UNESCO. As fate would have it, UNESCO is probably the only institution where two of my passions cohabit under one roof: ICT and heritage and culture. I returned to Ghana with the vision to create an innovation and heritage hub, an institution and space to exhibit and celebrate our heritage and culture, to nurture creative talent, and a training center where the future of the youth could be transformed through innovation and technology. This is how the Heritage and Cultural Society of Africa, otherwise known as the HACSA Foundation, was born. Registered both in Ghana and the USA, and this year we will celebrate our 10th anniversary. We kicked off our first event with a Diaspora Homecoming Conference and an exhibition of the work of celebrated Ghanaian photographic artist James Barno, which ran from 6th March to 30th June 2017. Since then, we have had several cultural events exhibiting music, art, fashion, food, etc. We've also produced 3 documentaries on heritage sites in Accra and 17 virtual tours, which you can find under HACSA Foundation on Google Arts and Culture. But like all those who work in the creative space here know, raising support and funds for arts and culture in Ghana can be an uphill struggle. So my sincere congratulations go today to the artist laureates, and indeed all the artists here today. What a wonderful and inspiring gathering we have here today, and I'm so happy to be part of it. At HACSA, in spite of all these challenges and struggles, we have stayed the course, and I'm delighted to announce that this year we will kick off our 10th anniversary celebrations at our annual HACSA Sankofa Summit on December 11th and 12th, 2026. And we look forward with great expectations to having His Royal Majesty as our special guest of honor and keynote speaker at our 10th anniversary summit. Our efforts at resource mobilization here in Ghana and within the diaspora for our Tech for Girls program has been so successful that it has enabled us to acquire a property as a training center to teach ITC skills, which prioritize and empower girls and women. But this campus will also serve as a heritage and cultural center. On Monday, I signed the leasehold for our half-acre campus site in Kanda in Accra, which we plan to formally launch in August in the presence of the Vice President of Ghana. I wish to express my immense gratitude to our sponsors, donors, board members, and volunteers at home and in the diaspora who have given so generously of their resources and time to support this vision. I would also like to extend those thanks to Mr. Iva Ajimandria, who was one of the very first members of the HACSA Foundation's advisory board. Yes, I was reminded yesterday by the publisher, who is here today, that Haxa organized the launch of his book at the Christiansborg Castle some years ago. Thank you, Iva, for your encouragement and support in the early days of Haxa's existence. Imagine that we are almost 10 years old. So on the 6th of August, we will launch our program for our 10th anniversary celebrations and announce a competition for young up-and-coming artists to participate in our first round of artists fellowships, where they will be assigned mentors and giving digital skills, as well as skills in leadership, entrepreneurship, social media marketing, public speaking, and self-branding. Haxa's work is done through mobilizing our communities. So today I appeal to you all, the exceptional artists here tonight, to help us mentor the next generation of artists. The success of the Haxa Foundation indicates that there's a clear blueprint for creating impact and change and making a difference in our communities. And today we are witnessing this at the highest level. Vision, leadership, and action. So I'd like to thank His Royal Majesty and Her Royal Highness Lady Julia for their pioneering leadership and support for this critical and strategic sector, and for inviting me here today to be part of something so inspiring, so impactful, and so special. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you appreciate any of the words you have heard tonight, please give a round of applause to all our speakers. Thank you very much. Well, we've heard a lot of important words. We'll now call on the poet Nana Sase to give us a recital.
Ago fiha. Osoro fronton fronko makokoro kwa ogibram ma brimpon bo brim ewa sie onyankropon a ye pade pen hunu a ye hia no ye hwehwe semenhia nyankopon no a ye be hunu no ohene o meja enu nti na wasi wo hene de watena menhia asante man semenhia enyumre ye chia o odematena semenhia ama manyina twehia mu ye ba betie eduson ensiemu mrante dwene pa ufa no sumi papem abra ewura papa bia nanim tesi ahemfo pie mu ahwehwe the Lady Julia, the most elegant. Odi uti eto ho na unya adwempa sei se ye gura tumpan a fonton from be sori agina brane ne ebono bram wa ya ka tete kwa brane a wa bram tete atempompo no achi ne wasi wa hini wa sase mfimfini na odi sika aye wo 90 aso se ehia wa ye hunu nanim eja nyankwada. When a child is called before his elders, he dare not name names and call titles, lest he misses one and be made to pay a fine. The burdens of a great vision weigh the shoulders of the mind. And so it takes an elder to stand on the junctions of night and day and point the paths of ancients to the youth, so they know the way their elders took to win the battle and the freedom that they enjoy today. Tonight, we have gathered for a simple mission. We gather to blend Sankofa with the way forward. Dear unim suya uhunu inti itwaye konkoshe yechi die nimu a ne de ato enne akwemu. Tradition and modernity going hand in hand to ensure that legacy is established from now. Ago fiha. In Penisi, when a woman is in labor, she does not rejoice. But after she has delivered, she calls for celebration. Tonight is a matter of celebration. Ekayenkwa anko senti ene yewo asafo. Yewo asafo hene, ne yewo asafo dompem so safo 3 Now so ene enyo senti ne yeshia or searching kunimdie intina ene yeshia. You see that out of struggle great ideas are born. Whatever was taken is never missing when we own the capacity to create generations of beautiful things and the ripples of souls, noting that the aged and the young both carry divine art in them. Shall I begin? In the beginning, when the Creator says, "Let there be light," and there was water, water to wash your feet of the traveler's dust, water to wash your hands of the sins we might have committed, water to wash our brow of the traveler's heat, and water to quench our thirst, not of water, for indeed every traveler is in search of knowledge. Our paths to God lie inwards, but it takes one to take the torch and lead the path. Tonight we gather, not only to celebrate the path, not only to celebrate one who takes the torch and leads the path, but tonight we have gathered to celebrate eight of our very own. The world chooses to clap. Tonight we have learned to beat our chests for you, because our chests are as good as drums as any animal skins could ever be. Today it is 8. Tomorrow may we have many more. Today it is your turn. Tomorrow it might be mine. Another time let it be for another. And so you do not know who rubbed that cake of soup at the exit to our public place. Rub what is enough and let the last man carry our blessings. They are sure to come around somehow. Ago. And so, when the king lends you a baton, learn to run for the paths of the future, for the paths behind us only serve for us to look into. We are the mirrors of the future. Look at my feet. My feet have green. My feet have gold. But our commonwealth is not stashed in votes, my people. All the greenery we walk under feet. Our gold is not stashed in the earth. Asante is known for it. Our gold is you and you and you. We choose to celebrate and say our gold, Your Majesty, is you. We appreciate the depth that you bring from the ancient to the present. Ago fiha. Ago. And so the world has gathered. Some came from the earth. Some came from the four winds, others crossed the 7 seas, just together in this place because it is an important matter. When you climb a good tree, you deserve a very good push, exhibiting that wisdom does not only dwell in the gray of the elders. And so tonight I chose to wear my beard. My beard is not rebellion. My beard is just in celebration of the chin that wears no beard, yet makes room for the beard to grow. My chin is for the king who believes that making others shine is indeed that path to greatness, just like earth, who knows that he sets the place for all the trees to grow towards the sky, but his respect with sky is immovable. Shall we learn this virtue and realize that it takes many more to stand on the shoulders of greatness and push each other up? And when we are all done, let us lend the rope backwards, carry it forwards, and that is how our legacies of this generation will live long. And so when I say that when we meet to gather smocks and compare them, none had better be more colorful than that of the master weaver. Sanki yishia niyebe batakeria anki nise eni nekesie anemu sinsaye esene dia wonwene. Nanso me koko bi se owisa kremu se batakeri kesi wura eni yewura. Otumfuo Osei Tutu ababio. Yamekese, Kofabai. Let us not forget the back without which there is no front. A good matter is short. We have come once, we have come twice. This child has come to stay who will live long and needs no charm. When we call, the world will show up. When we show the path, the world will follow. Creativity comes from this place where the Creator lay his golden mat and set great ones like you upon it. My people, let us learn. Political will, traditional authority, meeting creativity, and making paths for generations yet to enter the thought of time, write our own stories in the pages of history. I'm the writer king who sips communion wine from the calabash. I came to pour libation, not to our ancestors. We have invoked them too many times, they hardly have time to be dead. Today, I came to join you to pour libation to those of you who are living at elevated pieces of earth who keep the world going round. It is high time we celebrate the living, and as a people, we have started to do this. Have I spoken well? Is my message delivered? Have we heard? Let us walk this golden path.
A round of applause for Nana Sase. Nana me bompire said, Manhyia, mano better to sell. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I must also say that this event is launching a series of important books. This is the Manhyia Palace Museum Historical Reflections series. This is a booklet of essays, conversations, and treatment of single matter historical themes. The first 8 in the series that we are launching today are 1. Decolonizing Ghanaian History, One Nation, Many Histories, by the late Professor Emeritus of African History, Ivor G. Wilkes, and our very own Ivor Ajimaidua. Am I going to have them on the screen or no? No? Okay. Thank you. That's it. Hey, where's Mr. Ivor's picture? Mr. Ivor. Okay, so that's the first book. The second one is Islam and Trade in the Gold Coast, Ghana and West Africa by Professor David Owusu-Ansah of James Madison University, United States. Beautiful. The third series is Lasting Legacies, King Prempeh I in Exile in Seychelles by Dr. Panda Chopi of the University of Seychelles. Thank you. The fourth book is A History of Asante Gold at the V&A by Angus Patterson of the Victoria and Albert Museum, London. Beautiful. The fifth one is Asantehemaa Ajimai Prempeh I, Centenary Commemoration and Return from Exile, 1924 to 2024. Thank you. Our sixth book in the series is All Matter is Material for Sculpture by sculptor and world-famous Professor of Fine Art, Ella Nachu. Also one of our laureates from the inaugural event. Beautiful. The seventh is this one. This present is its past. The heritage of Asantehemaa Osei Tutu II by the President of American Academy of Arts and Letters, Professor Kwame Anthony Appiah. Beautiful. The last that we are launching tonight, which is also the basis of one of the 3 small exhibitions we will shortly see at the foyer, is titled A Hungarian Artist in the Gold Coast, Ghana. I believe His Excellency Thomas Feher has spoken at length about that. This is a fascinating piece of art history of the 1950s and has been translated into Hungarian and Chinese. It's a friendship between Asantehemaa Ajimai Prempeh II and the artist Helen Uzenyibi. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency Thomas Feher just spoke at length about Madam Helen. I stand on everything he said. Let's go on. Okay, so these are the 8 books that we are launching tonight, and I really entreat all of you to get a copy of it. You know that the Manhyia Palace, their work is non-sponsorship based, and the cooperation agreements that they are in are also non-financial. And so we depend on you getting some of these important pieces to push our work, right? We've also spoken at length tonight about preserving and advancing Africa's heritage. And so you getting copies of this set of series will be very important. Honestly, I'm not even going to allow anybody to go home empty-handed tonight. When we close, I'll be at the gate with my cloth wrapped around me like that. And so you show your book, you go. Okay. Also, I have another exciting piece of news. The Manhyia Palace Museum will soon open a new arts and culture gallery. This this gallery will open in a few months. The Asantehemaa himself will commission it. And when it opens, there will be the Children of the World unit. As you know, thousands of children actually get to visit Asantehemaa sometimes, and he quizzes them or they get to quiz him. What the museum has found out, what we all actually know, is that a lot of our kids know very little about their history, their heritage, and their culture. And so for this AI generation of children, that gallery, when it opens, is going to tell our stories using animation. Please put your hands together for this wonderful initiative. Yes. And this is a collaboration between the Parable Studios, led by Cyril Jojo Aban, and the Manhyia Palace Museum. The first in the series will be an animation video titled Otumfuo Osei Tutu the First, Birth of an Empire. We are happy to show you a 4-minute excerpt now.
Why are you here? Suprututu.
I want a child.
But you already have a child.
Uncle Aubrey.
My sister's son, Kofi Osei Tutu, my nephew. Look at you. Ochami, come on, arrange for some fresh palm wine. This calls for celebration. Welcome to your new home, Tutu.
Mind-boggling heavenly bodies, aren't they?
Captivating. And just look at that. The sky is so clear you can see every crater on its surface.
Yes, every single one of them.
Oh, and look at all these stars spread behind it endlessly. And to think each of those stars are actually bigger than the moon. But yet, the moon is what appears larger.
Interesting point, my king. It's very much the same here on Earth. Some people appear much bigger and mightier than they actually are. If each of those stars, mighty as they are individually, came together, and you see how they could overshadow the moon?
Cut off its light entirely, and its place the brilliance of the stars.
My point exactly. Osei Tutu the king died, a hero, a budding empire builder, immortalized in one of the great oaths of the Asante court, Kromante Memeneda Mikobi Nsumante. Death, for all its power, cannot carry water from the river with a sieve. Though the king was gone, his spirit lived on. The flame of ambition he lit continued to burn bright, passed from one great king to the next. Nana Opokuware, the first, Nana Kusi Obodu, Nana Osei Kojo, Nana Osei Kwame Penny, Nana Opoku Fofi, Nana Osei Tutu Kwame, Nana Osei Yao Akoto, Nana Kwekudria, the first, Nana Kofi Kakari, Nana Kwekudria, the second, Nana Mensabunsu, Nana Prempe, the first, Nana Prempe, the second, Nana Opokuware, the second. Each adding a chapter to the Ashanti story, expanding borders, forging alliances, and crafting a golden legacy. Today, that legacy lives on in Osei Tutu II, the incumbent Asantehemaa. Like his namesake, he leads with wisdom, strength, and vision, propelling Ashanti into a new era of greatness. The kingdom thrives, a testament to the indomitable spirit of a king whose impact echoes through time. Otumfuo Osei Tutu the first, birth of an empire.
Wow, please put your hands together.
Good evening again. The night has been long, so we will now get to the stage where Otumfuo will present the trophies to the 2026 laureates. So, Afia, if you can continue, we will do that now and then we will.
So we'll move straight into the awards. Okay. Okay. All right, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear your name, you come upstage. This is the peak of the evening, and we will humbly ask all the laureates to come forward to receive the awards when the names are mentioned as Otumfuo and Lady Julia mount the stage. Aside trophies for the laureates designed and manufactured by Ni Obu's Touch of Bronze in Accra, the Justice and Repair has also provided to them branded, multi-connected, chargeable ICT diaries. So the names I have before me, Lariotu. Please, if you are here, come over. Put your hands together for Lariotu. We'll do that one by one. Lariotu. Hands together for them, please. Please be seated and put your hands together for them. Lariotu. Congratulations, sir. So we'll move on to the next, Ibrahim Mahama. Not the business mogul, but the artist. Yeah. Yes. This is Ibrahim Muhammad, the artist. Then we have the other one who's a businessman. And then we have Julie Hudson. Julie Hudson. Is Julie around? Congratulations. Wow. In a beautiful green. Julie Hudson. Beautiful. Julie Hudson. Osei Bonsu is next. Ladies and gentlemen, Osei Bonsu. When I saw Osei Bonsu the first time, I thought he was a musician. Yes, it looks like one of my favorite R&B singers. Osei Bonsu. Congratulations. Very handsome young man. Osei Bonsu, congratulations. We cross over to Yao Ousu. Yao Ousu. Yao Ousu. Thanks so much, Yao Ousu. We now have Victor Butler. Victor Butler. Victor Butler, ladies and gentlemen. Victor Butler. Congratulations. John Ruskin, he once said, fine art is when the head, the heart, and the hand are in unison. And we're celebrating those who put stuff together. So, Efia Prempe is next. Efia Prempe. Efia Prempe. Yes, once we hear the name Prempe, you know we're talking royalty. Efia Prempe. Congratulations, Efia. Congratulations, Efia Prempe. Now, Leon Radegondi. Leon Radegondi. Congratulations, Leon. You look great in that dress. Yeah. Yes, with those awards given out, we'll now ask the Minister for Tourism and all the recipients to join Otumfuo and Lady Julia for the first official photograph. So all those who won, please all of you come up and let's have the first photograph with His Majesty and Lady Julia. First photograph. All the recipients and His Majesty the King and Lady Julia. All recipients will have the first official photograph. The director of the museum, the UNESCO representative, and founders of Justice and Repair can also join. Director of the museum, UNESCO representative, and founders of Justice and Repair can also join for this official photograph. The second official photo will be for the laureates with Otumfuo and Lady Julia. Second official photo. And after the photos, we'll get ready for His Majesty.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for these well-deserved awards. We are gradually closing in, but we'll now call on Mr. Ivor Manhyia to make a special presentation.
Lady Julia is the chief patron of the Otumfuo Art Awards. She has, by that, come into her own. She was a practicing artist in primary and secondary schools in Switzerland and the United Kingdom, and continued at Wesley Girls after sixth form, from where she now collects arts and artworks, as I said. And you can imagine the choices of artworks, as you will see at the back, together with the husband. On her assumption of office as chief patron, we were thinking of which artwork would please her, since she has this high sense of taste. It was whilst I was in Manhyia in Seychelles that we settled on an artwork, a photography, which is representative of African values in rural settings. It is our pleasure on this day to present to her this artwork and from Seychelles. We will call on the Mamponhini, supported by Nana Pejahini, to your lady. If you don't mind, you can kindly come upstage to collect this gift.
Sound, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will say all too soon. We've come to, well, almost the end of tonight's beautiful occasion. For this last part, we will invite His Royal Majesty the Asantehemaa, Her Royal Highness Lady Julia, the laureates, and the ambassadors and dignitaries here to make their way out to the foyer to inspect the exhibition. All of us are going to see the exhibition. We all have to, but we kindly ask that you allow His Majesty Lady Julia and the dignitaries to go and unveil the exhibition and inspect it first, and after that we will all go.
Sorry for coming back again. We will also want to acknowledge some school children who are into art. They are art students. We invited them to participate. We're hoping that they will be inspired by what they've seen tonight and some of the artworks that they will eventually see when they get to the corridor. We will also like to appreciate the African Development Bank. They just popped in to say that, well, they will support us, and they did with some few thousands of cedis, which has also gone a long way in making the evening a bit comfortable. So thank you for coming.
We'll now ask all of us to rise as His Royal Majesty makes his way out to inspect the exhibition. Kindly stay in the hall, begin to socialize, buy some of the brochures as you wait to go see the exhibition. Ejaya Dase.
Pia. Ohine Dase. Ubia Mompire Mohine, why dear to do? Why dear to do? Oboa science, Oboa art, Oboa mamre, Oboa Bibia. Thanks so much. Congratulations for 27th on the Golden Stool and 76th as a birthday. Congratulations. And thanks so much for joining us tonight, Lady Julia. Last year she wasn't here. Thanks so much, Lady Julia, for joining us. And the dignitaries, High Commissioners, Ambassadors, and the African American community, led by Don Sutherland. Yeah. Agricultural Development Bank, thanks so much for your support. Former Minister for Foreign Affairs, Osei, thanks so much for coming. And my co-MC has been resplendent. She passed the test. So time for the exhibition. His Majesty and the Royal Highness to go have a look with the dignitaries, and then we shall follow suit and go see what our creativity has put before us. But please make sure that before you step out of this building, you buy some of the brochures and a book to read more about what you didn't see or hear tonight. There's so much. The book is just 100 cities. The brochure is 150 cities. There's so much that you didn't see tonight or hear tonight, but it's in the brochure. 100 cities and 150 Ghana cities. That's enough, and that's okay. Thanks so much for coming out. I think we still have some more drinks, right? We still have some drinks around. We still have some food and drinks around, so please stay around. We have some food, we have some drinks to make sure that everything works out fine. Once the official unveiling is done by His Majesty, the rest of us can go see the wonderful artifacts in there at the foyer.
Asante Society. Okoye kono, oba besi oja premwanwe, wae bieja yo. Okoye kono, oba besi oja premwanwe, wae bieja yo. Sana never be fear. I never go. Take a good man for. I never go.
Odrago Zomo what's in my head and you? Obey my trapita, I am free. What's in my head and you? Yamina boy, Yamina boy. I gave me one now, grandson, another way. Yamina boy, I am a boy, Yamina boy. I gave me one now, grandson. Yamina boy, boy. I gave me one now, grandson, another way. Yamina boy, I am a boy, Yamina boy. I am one now, grandson. As I'm a baby, I'm too much, and I'm a background. You may give me a bomb, a man, Tata. And the dream from the cocoa design, we knew what to do. Yamina boy, Yamina boy. Again, one grass on Babe. Yamina boy, I am a boy, Yamina boy. I am one grass on. As I'm a baby, I'm too much, and I'm a background, and I'm too much. You may give me a bomb, a man, the children from the cocoa design with the wood. Oh, Baby, boy, Yamina boy. I gave you one grass and another way. Yamina boy, I am a boy, Yamina boy. I gave you one grass. Yamina boy, Yamina boy. I gave you one grass and another way. Yamina boy, I am a boy, Yamina boy. I gave you one grass. What bread you dear grow more, Miss Madam Pine? I am boy, you know. Feel so free, grandpa, Miss Madam Pine. I am boy, you know. Go Bessie, Neru say, Wawa, Wadabo, Yame Mama, Goda, boy, no, I am boy, no. Agomo, Sasabrigo, Nabom. Agomo, Akugomo, Sasabrigo, Nabom. Ababa, Madiachi, Obrewe, Neno, Ababa, Madiachi. Okwajofuo, contact and chain. Shana Kwane Unyansa. And Tatia Fia down, she said you need to strip pepper. It should top about no other. If you say, when you're Sanibia, one who said that. Say, what, baby, oh, Chrome, ah, yeah, my gun and one. And in chance in a banana, mamma, I say, Senuane, Sao Brawe, and Fatagana for. Kroma and in chance and abandon Mamma Translation. Sour Brown to Atagana for Jacob Bomb, me a sort of clergyman. We go to Swan near Befeju. Algomo, Rigumo, Awomo, Rigumo, Sasabrigo, and a bomb.
so ye human being. Benya on every area. Sabi area in Job, you work at them. A frost chuma. Sabi and Efra was see Abu Sansa. Only down the front of team. Or sit and to on Baba. Yari yo. Oh, yari away. Yari say. Where we go? Down the wall here, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.